to WKYT News. The investigation into a tragic helicopter crash in Owen County continues after 3 victims were killed.
Gail Alleman, Bethany Aiken, and James Welsh died when their air evac helicopter crashed. Investigators with the NTSB and FAA were back on scene today to figure out what caused that crash. Witnesses told investigators the helicopter hit a guy wire supporting a tower. The helicopter separated and then fell. Kentucky State Police handling the death investigation, while federal agencies like the FAA and NTSB focus on the crash itself.
Our hearts definitely go out to the community, the family, and the friends. This is an impact that we felt throughout the entire community.
And so far, we have not heard any information about funeral plans or memorial services for those crew members. A GoFundMe, though, has been set up for one of the 3 victims. The organizer of the GoFundMe calls James Welsh a one-of-a-kind and a best friend to everyone. So far, it has raised more than $24,000.
This morning, Judge Executive Chuck Dills ordered all county flags to be flown at half-staff in honor of the fallen first responders.
WKYT's Jeremy Toms and photojournalist Darnell Crenshaw went to Dry Ridge and to Williamstown to see how people there are coping and to hear from a small business owner who is hoping to support fellow first responders during this difficult time. It's our top story at 6.
Dry Ridge Constable and firefighter Michael Knighty knew the 3 crew members, Bethany Aiken, Gail Alleman, and James Welsh, meeting them on the scene of several 911 calls.
Great and professional, down to earth, laid back, and willing to help you out the best they can. All they did was care about their job, and they loved their job.
Knighty and other Dry Ridge citizens are still trying to process what happened 24 hours ago.
It was just a freak accident. It's crazy to hear when I got the phone call about it. I didn't know how to respond to it. Just was a little shocked.
A few miles away in downtown Williamstown, the county seat, you'll notice there's no shortage of honor.
We can look back in our past, and that blessing of the past reaches out to touch our future.
And inside the Kentucky Y'all Icebox, this ice cream shop puts an emphasis on honor. Monday through Friday, they express their appreciation for their community heroes. On Fridays, they celebrate first responders.
And it sets an example for the younger generations about who to look up to.
Shop owner Rochelle Morse knows a scoop of ice cream won't take away the pain the city is feeling right now, but she knows there's something she can do to help the entire first responder community.
After tragedies, you think about, who can I bless? How can I move forward differently than yesterday?
So now she'll expand her love for community heroes.
Is to also offer discounts for the families of first responders.
She knows it's not a big deal, but it's her way of showing that honor.
That's one way, one small way.
In Grant County, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
St. Elizabeth Grant Hospital released a statement regarding the helicopter crash involving Air Evac Life Team 133. They say, in part, quote, "We are heartbroken by the news of the tragic helicopter crash last night involving Air Evac Life Team 133. Based adjacent to St. Elizabeth Grant Hospital, Air Evac Life Team 133 has been a critical extension of our emergency services since 2016.